Hi everyone. This week we're going to use the spreadsheet in Google Apps. So the first thing that you need to do is go to Google, and as if you were checking your email, make sure that you're definitely logged in. We're going to relate this one to the work that we've done over the last 2 weeks on surface area to volume ratio when we were looking at heat sinks and such like. So what you need to do is go up to these 9 dots in the corner, click on those, and first of all go to your Google Drive. Once that comes up, find some space down here towards the bottom, right click, and then we're going to click on Google Sheets, and that will then bring up the spreadsheet. So one of the things that you should have done is done a table working out the area or surface area of different size cubes and the volume, and then the surface area to volume ratio. So we're going to reproduce that here. So we'll start off in cell A1 there, and we'll put in the length of the side, and then we'll just put that's in centimeters just so that we know what's happening there. So now we want the area of one face, and now we want the total surface area, and we're going to call that SA. Now at this point you'll notice, look, it looks as though it's going over to the next cell. It isn't, it's just inside that one cell. There's nothing here, so just leave it alone for the time being. So we've got the length of the side, the area of one face, the total surface area. Now we want the volume. And then finally we want the surface area to volume ratio. So said where they're overlapping, we didn't need to worry about that before. So we're going to highlight there, and then we're going to go for this tool here that says text wrapping. So if you click and hold that one down, and the one with the arrow coming back is the wrap, so that will come back onto the same cell so we can see all of them. Since that's our header, let's make that bold. So next thing then, we want the length of our sides. So we're going to start off 1 and 2. We're not going to put centimeters in here because otherwise we can't use that to calculate. So now back into cell A2, click and drag downwards, let go. Then go to the replicator, and we're going to go all the way down to row 101. Because that will then give us 100. So we're going from a 1 centimeter cube up to a meter cube on each side. So area of one face, and you should have already done this on paper, so it should be fairly easy. So it's going to be the length of that side multiplied by the length of that side, because they're squares or the cubes. So to get the total surface area, we know that there are 6 sides to a cube, so it's going to equal B2 times 6. To get the volume of a cube, it's the length times the height times the width. If it's a cube, they're all the same. And then our surface area to volume ratio is surface area divided by volume. So now if we highlight all of those, go to the replicator on the corner, double click, and that will bring our numbers all the way down to 100. If we want to go past it, down to here. Problem is, these are going to be a little bit tricky to see properly when they've got that many decimal places. We don't really need that. So highlight all of them, and then I'm going to go to here, and first of all I'm going to click decrease decimal places, and then I'm going to start increasing them. So it's just 3 should be enough. Let's just go down and have a look towards the bottom. What we want to check for is that we don't have any that are pretty much the same, because they start getting very small. Yeah, so here look, we've got some of these that are the same, so I'm going to go one more. So let's take that then to 4 decimal places. And we can see what we were looking at last week. Now if I click somewhere else, when you've got a really small object like a 1 centimeter cube, you've got a fairly large surface area to volume ratio there of 6. When we get to one that is a meter, 100 centimeters on each side, then it's 0.06. What we also need to just think about here is we've gone from 1 to 100, so we've times it by 100, but this has now got 100 times smaller. And it's sometimes a little bit easier to see these. Think, well, let's double the length of that. So we've halved the surface area to volume ratio, and that works all the way along. Let's highlight down these, and then we're going to go to this one here, the borders, click on that, and go to this one that looks like a 4-pane window for all borders. That puts our borders on. Click somewhere else, and now we're going to select just 2 columns. So we're going to start off with length of side, include the title in that, so click, don't let go, drag all the way down until we get to row 101, let go. Now hold down the Control key on your keyboard, click in there and highlight upwards. Let go of the mouse first, then let go of the Control key. So we've highlighted those 2. From here now, we're going to go into Insert and Chart. So we'll go with chart that it gives us here. You can make that a little bit bigger on your screen, so we can see what's happening as shape or the object gets bigger. We can see that the surface area to volume ratio is dropping. Just to make certain, around here it should save automatically. Okay, so if you're really uncertain on that, it's a good idea to give this a title first. So I'll call it Essay Vault. Once you've given that a name, if you just click somewhere else, it will save automatically into your drive. Last thing I want you to do now is we're going to export this as a PDF. So we need to go to File, and we're going to go to Download, and then we're going to go to PDF Document. So if we click on that one, so it'll give us this 3-page document. Don't really need it quite that big when it's just going to be looked at on screen. So what we're going to do over here, we're going to click on Portrait. On the scale, we're going to put Fit to Page. So that should shrink everything down onto 1 page now, and just big enough to be readable, but mostly we can see our graph that we wanted there. And then up here, blue button, Export. So we'll click on that. And this comes up. You want to save the file. Possibly if you're in a different browser, it might come up in the corner there, in which case you would need to open the file and then save it from there. So it'll give you the same title that you just put in up there. Good idea there, probably around here, to just type in your name, surname, and class, and then save. And once you've done that, you can just close this down. It will be saved in your Google Drive. Just might have to refresh that once you go back to it. Okay, thank you, and speak to you next time.